Hey guys, what's up? ShaneWolf38 here. Today I have magical swords for you. Now that is a very generic name, so let me just go more in detail. Basically, I have kind of custom swords that you can use for your adventure maps. Now I have three. I have the fire sword, the poison sword, and the ice sword. And for each one I have three variations. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. So if we go in this chest, you see we have the fire sword level 1, the fire sword level 2, and the fire sword level 3. So we can just take these out, and I'm going to rearrange them a bit better. Perfect. Now let's go over here to our little testing dummy, and let's begin to beat him up. So the fire sword level 1 has a very low chance of hurting the villain, or it's not hurting him, but setting him on fire when I hit him. So I'm just going to continuously hit him until he catches on fire, basically. Keep in mind that this is the level 1 sword, so the chances of him catching on fire are relatively low. There we go. Now he's on fire. Let me just wait until he cools off, and you see I can hit him some more, and every now and then he catches on fire. Now we're going to go to the fire sword level 2, and if we start hitting him, soon he should catch on fire. There we go. So you can see he caught on fire much faster. Let me try that again. See if we can get him to set on fire one last time. Come on. There we go. So, you know, it's about every 10 hits, and now our fire sword level 3, boom, he just set on fire immediately. This one actually has a 1 1/3 chance of setting him on fire. So as you can see, it's very often. Let me just go at this one more time. Start hitting him. So yes. Now this sword is very powerful in its fieriness. Let me go back in here. Now I'm going to grab my poison sword, level 1, 2, and 3. Take these over here. I'm going to quickly show these because these just do the exact same thing. Hopefully I can get him to get poison really fast, because I'm just going to spam him. Okay, there we go. So that was a lot of hits, but he did get poisoned. Now with the level 2 sword, wow, he got poisoned very fast there. Usually a bit slower than that, but you know, we can get lucky. And this one just immediately poisoned him again. See if I can wait. 1. Oh wow. Okay, he just got poisoned immediately. Let me do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, very often with that one. Very, very cool. Let me put these back in the chest as well. And finally, the ice sword. Levels 1, 2, and 3. So we hit him with this. And basically when you hit someone with an ice sword and it works, it will freeze them for a short amount of time. And you'll be able to tell when that happens. Which you will be able to hopefully see very soon if I keep on hitting him. Yeah, there we go. He just kind of sparks with ice. Let me do level 2. And because this guy is not allowed to move, you can't really tell that he's gonna be frozen. See, the level 3, it's very often. You can keep on hitting him and he's just going to spark with that ice. So yeah, very cool, very cool. It's actually very compact for what it does. It's a very simple system too, and it uses 3 armor stands for randomization. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, I didn't mean to delete those, but you know, it's okay. Let's basically go over how this works. The first thing that's going to happen is, let me show you the objectives. So we have hit, sword, level, and random. Now, all of them are a dummy objective except hit, which is a stat.damage dealt, which basically means that when you hit someone, your score is equal to how much damage you dealt, and it actually adds up. But for this, we're just going to use minimum 1, so we can tell when you hit someone. Now over here, we're going to set every player to a level score of 3 if they're holding an item with a title score of 1. Now title, it does nothing. It's for books. But if you use it on an item, it's a great selector. So if I do give it P dirt, like this, 1, 0, title 1, you can now see it's setting my level score to 3. So it's really amazing, actually. It's just a neat little trick that you can use to target items very easily. This one sets everyone with a title score of 2 to level 2, and this one sets everyone with a title score of 3 to level 1. So this one actually has a title score of 1, this one has a title score of 2, and this one has a title score of 3. So it represents the level, but you can see it actually sets my level to 1 when the title is 3, and we're going to get to that a little bit later. And then just this just sets my sword score to 1 if I'm holding the fire sword. This one just sets my sword score to 2 if I'm holding the poison sword, and this one just sets my ice sword or my sword score to 3 if I'm holding the ice sword. And as you can see, my level actually has to be a minimum of 1 there. Okay, basically it's going to execute at everybody with a hit score of minimum 1 and a sword score of minimum 1 and a level score of minimum 1. So this is when you hit someone and you're holding a sword or one of those 9 swords. It's going to do an operation and set your random score to a random armor stand named random's operations or random score. There's 3 of them. One has a random score of 1, the other has a random score of 2, and the final has a random score of 3. And I was going to use 0, 0, and 1, but you'll see why I did it in just a second. Then it's going to execute at everybody with a hit score of minimum 1, a sword score of 1, and a level score of minimum 2 now. So this is basically if you're holding a sword that is below level 3. Because level 3 is, well, basically what I mean is a level 3 sword has a level score of 1. So this is only going to happen if you have a level 2 or level 1 sword. And if you also have a random score of minimum 3. Now, through minimum 3 is basically win. It's basically yes. It's a random score of 3 means yes. So it was correct last time, and it's going to do an operation and set your random score to a random armor stand's random score. Then this is going to execute at everybody with a hit score of 1, a sword score of 1, and a level score of minimum 3. So if you have a level 1 sword, you're going to run this. If you have a random score of 3, which means you are once again correct, it's going to do an operation and set your random score to a random armor stand whose name is random, who has a random score of minimum 2. So you're only choosing between 2 and 3. So you have a 1.5 chance of getting that random 3 score now. Then it's just going to execute at everybody with a hit score of 1, a sword score of minimum 1, and a random score of minimum 3, and set every non-player who just got to a hit score of 1 if they just got hurt. So yeah, if they just got hurt. And yeah, then it's going to execute at everybody with a hit score of 1 and a sword score of 1 and a random score of 3, and just do an entity data at the nearest non-player with a hit score of minimum 1, and it's just gonna set them on fire basically. Then this is just gonna do the one for poison if they have a random score of minimum 3, a hit score of 1, and a sword score of 2. It's just gonna do the poison, and then this is just ice. It's a particle and slowness. Then it just resets everyone's hit score, resets everyone's sword score, and this is actually, you can see this is entity, not everybody, so it's every entity as well. And then this just resets everyone's sword score, their random score, and their level score. So what's going on with the random thing is, okay, here, let me explain this with the swords here. Basically, if you have a level 3 sword, it's only going to run the command once. And since there are 3 armor stands, you have a 1 in 3rd chance of getting a random score of 3. So it's a 1 in 3rd chance of using the effect. If you have a level 2 sword though, it's actually going to run the command twice. So it's 1/3 times 1/3. So it's a 1 in 9 chance now of using the effect. And with the last one, a level 1 sword, it's going to run the command 3 times. So that would normally be 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3, which is 1 in 27. But I actually restricted it so that it only set the random score to a random player with a random score of minimum 2. So it's actually 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/2, which is 1/18. Because I felt like 1/27 is just way too rare. So I decided to do 1/18. So yes, very simple little randomization system with the swords. I really like the system. It works really well. And it's very easy to actually add more swords and more levels. So yeah, I love this system. It's very cool. Very nice. I will add a download link in the description if you want to go check it out. So definitely do if you're interested in using this or just checking it out. Alright, very cool. That's about it. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Peace.